Invite Director of Economic Development, Mr. Jim Richardson, and Mr. Tucker McNulty to make their presentation to the council.
Thank you. Is this one working okay, I think? Yes. Good. Thank you, Councilman Slutzky and members of the council. Pleasure to be here tonight to present testimony on the bill before you. I'm going to ask Mr. McNulty to kind of give you the broad stroke of what is entailed here, and then I'll have a few follow-up comments, and I'll be certainly glad to answer any questions that you might have. So, Tucker?
Thank you, J.R. Good evening, council members. The Office of Economic Development is asking for your endorsement of a loan from the Maryland Department of Business and Economic Development in the amount of $750,000 and a contribution from the county in the form of workforce technical training grants in the amount of $100,000 to Smith's Detection, Inc. Smith's Detection in Edgewood is located at U.S. headquarters for Smith's Detection, Inc., a subsidiary of Smiths Group, PLC, a global technology company.
Mr. Guthrie?
It looks like an increase of 222 jobs.
103.
130?
103.
Increase.
Correct.
I also believe I read that they just, as part of this, that they just got a $28 million contract to operate in this facility. Is that right?
That is correct.
So the claims that they would pack up and go to Virginia are kind of hard to imagine after building the property that they've already built there and having 200-plus employees there already, correct?
Well,
With those other states. But I believe since they've located here, your assumption is correct. It would be difficult for them to move.
Mr. Shrodes?
I just wanted to ask if you calculated the total wages that will be brought in, I guess based on the average. I guess it's kind of simple math, and then based on a certain percentage that I'm sure you may have derived, if they're county residents, how much would that contribute back as revenue to the county and local income taxes?
Yeah, I haven't run those exact numbers, Councilman Shrodes.
So on this training portion, we're training more, or we're training more than the 103 employees that are new. It's really the entire company we're training, and it's over 3 years. So I guess really our contribution is, trying to think of how to say this, if it's 100,000, so it'd be, if there's 300 employees, if it is the 300 employees, then.
Ms. Lisanti?
Thank you. Just for a clarification, the State Department of Business and Economic Development, their loan portion of this, the $750,000, that is specifically for to support the physical expansion of the facility. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And can only be used for that piece.
That is correct.
Okay. And the $100,000 that you were requesting approval from this council is strictly for workforce development.
Workforce training.
And okay. All right. So in effect, we're being asked to offset tuition costs for training of employees that will work at that particular facility.
That is absolutely correct.
Nationally and on the state level and filtering down to the local level, the one concern that I am most often presented with is the business-friendly concept. And it wasn't long ago, was it Northrop Grumman's that moved to Virginia?
Correct.
And we took a great deal of criticism on the Maryland political scene for losing Northrop Grumman's because we were unable to compete with them, and those jobs and that vast international reputation and financing went to another state. Do you perceive this, as I believe Mr. McNulty mentioned earlier, as a step in the right direction for the business-friendly environment that Harford County is trying to create to do exactly what we've been hearing at the national level, where we need to create small businesses, modest businesses, moderate businesses, so that we can create jobs in the
This resolution authorizes the state of Maryland to lend $750,000 and the county $100,000 to Smiths Detection, which is a multinational, multi-million-dollar corporation based in 22 countries, based in the UK, London and the UK. And they make equipment like the nude X-ray scanners at the airports, used by the TSA, metal detectors, bomb detection equipment, biological and chemical equipment. Smiths Detection does not need this money. Last year, their profits were $661 million. But this business government cronyism is leading us down the road to democratic socialism. And we have a bipartisan political apparatus that is dedicated to government growth and special deals for favored individuals
Would you start to bring your comments to a close,
in
please?
corporate sectors. I'd like a $100,000 grant to improve my property. Think of all the people that it would employ. Think of all the extra stimulus and ripple effect in the economy. I mean, that's a red herring. The point is that when this type of corporate cronyism is allowed to flourish in a free market, it's distorted. The people of Harford claim to be upset with Annapolis and Washington, but Harford County is continuing its emulation of Obama and O'Malley, and this is especially poignant considering the fact that this largesse is being contemplated after the county executive has bemoaned the increased cost that the teacher pensions are going to cause on the county and its future negative fiscal impact, not to mention the chronic turmoil that we've had over teacher raises. This is hardly the time to hand out cash from the taxpayers of Maryland and Harford County.
But no mention was made of the impacts of these loans and grants upon the vast majority of businesses who don't get help from the county, when every other business has to pay more in taxes to cover these loans and grants. Economic development is hampered. Furthermore, the burden of these loans and grants falls not only on businesses, but on individual taxpayers as well. As a taxpayer, I do not approve of my tax dollars being used for what can at best be considered speculation and at worst, crony capitalism.
I'm concerned about you giving away our treasure to a company that seems not to need it. I'm concerned about the practice of giving away conditional loans that are forgiven after 10 years and grants of $100,000 to a company that, to them, given their balance sheet, it looks like it's a drop in the bucket. And I'm also very concerned about the practice, this kind of practice, and the term crony capitalism has come up a couple of times. This kind of practice just begs for corruption.
Philosophical, that's what I'm against, is the whole philosophy is that government gets to decide who the winners and losers are in the economy, in business. Corporations are in bed with the federal government, they're in bed with the state government, and perhaps they're in bed with the county government. But when you give government the power to pick winners and losers, then the rich and well-connected or strategically allied or very good political contributors are going to be the winners. The power to tax is the power to destroy. If we have extra money that we've taken from grandmothers who are trying to stay in their homes, from local businesses, tiny businesses that are trying to stay afloat, and then we're going to give it away, okay, to this other company, it's just wrong on every level. It's completely and morally unethical. Corporations have a massive influence, a incentive to influence decision makers. They do it through lobbying, through campaign contributions, through political appointments, and by other means. And all these kind of subsidies basically hurt small businesses and only help they only reward large businesses. Subsidies like bailouts, regular subsidies, regulations actually hurt small business and help big business because they can comply. Expected bailouts, tax credits, monopolies, loan guarantees, or conditional loans that are actually going to be forgiven, and they know so in the beginning, non-competitive bidding, and protectionism. The other thing is that Smith Detection is going to spend this money to train their people no matter what. So we give them money, we say it's for people, it's just a matter of semantics where this money is going. And it's coming out of taxpayers' pockets who can't afford it. Our county doesn't, we have budgetary problems, but we're going to give money to a multinational, very well-connected, and very profitable business. It's ludicrous, it's wrong, it's crony capitalism, and I urge you to vote against it.
now to having concluded the public hearing this evening. Is there a motion to approve Resolution 15-12?
Mr. Vice President, I move to approve Resolution 1512.
Second?
I have a motion by Mr. McMahon and a second by Mr. Guthrie to approve Resolution 15-12. Are there
And I just don't see the negative on this at all. I mean, this is for our war fighters. I mean, if you oppose this, you oppose our war fighters. I mean, this product is going to them. It's going to protect them when they're over there in Afghanistan and everywhere else, protecting the American way, and as they say, freedom is not free.
So if a multinational company wants to locate in this county to grow that industry, to protect our soldiers, I'm surely about it. And, the bottom line of it is they not only do that for them, but it's just like the other things they make. We talked a little bit about the detectors that you go through with the TSA. I fly a lot. I fly all over this world, and I am so glad that I go through a metal detector because I know that I don't have anything in my bag that's going to harm somebody else, but I sure want to make sure that 750 people that get in line behind me don't have some ulterior motive that's going to ruin my life. So, Mr. Vice President, that's all I have to say. I gladly support this.
Thank you, Ms. Lisanti. Further comments from the council? Mr. Shrodes?
I just want to say our economy needs jobs to stimulate and bring back the economy. This economic development program improves the ability to attract and retain businesses, creating a healthy business environment for our county, state, and region. Our state is often criticized for not being business friendly, and it is also important for Harford County to be competitive and grow our economic base through the creation of well-paying jobs. Our young people of this county now have tremendous opportunities to land positions and earn attractive salaries without leaving our county's borders. Our county will then receive real returns on our investment, as many will reside in our county through income taxes, as well as the demand for real estate will create increased property tax revenue. That's all I have. Thank you.